Hey guys, before the video begins, I would like to let you know that I'm not going to go through every detail as to how all of this happened, mainly because it will take the entire video on explaining every detail. But yeah, also if my voice gets heavy during the reading of this, just know I'm still heartbroken between this and I'm trying to be strong for my nephew. But yeah, with that said, enjoy this sad story. Sunday, September 15th, 2024. I was asleep and my mom woke me up at around 12:30 p.m. and she told me to get up. I got dressed and we waited for my dad to get back from playing softball with his buddies. He arrived and took us, and I had zero clue where we were going. That was when my mom got a call from my second older brother that something happened, which she couldn't spread the details to him because I was there with them and was worried I might catch on. That was when I was worried that something might have happened to someone close to me. Then it looks like we arrived at a hospital and got out. That was when my dad broke the news and burst into tears, saying my sister lost a baby. I was in shock and disbelief that my nephew has unfortunately passed away before birth. Then my mom and dad took me to the entrance to the hospital to see my sister's fiance, heartbroken upon the discovery that my nephew died. He guided us to where my sister was delivering the stillborn as she cried and wondered why all this happened to her. I was fighting back the tears as my sister was in massive pain, both physically and emotionally. I left the room with my dad because it was too much for me to handle, as one of the nurses noticed me fighting back the tears. She told me it was okay to let it out and I just couldn't handle it anymore. I bursted out crying and my second older brother appeared and noticed I was visibly heartbroken. And he was about to give me some water until one of the nurses was nice enough to give me one from a vending machine. I left with my second older brother early because I didn't want to see what happened to my nephew and was completely heartbroken. I posted an Instagram story about me breaking the news to some of my friends and family members that I wasn't going to be an uncle, which led to me playing some depressing songs in the background. Same day, at around 4:05 p.m., I got a text from my sister saying that everything will be okay and that regardless of the baby passing away, I'm still his uncle. I replied that I wish it didn't happen and wondered what they're both going to do now. She also wished it never happened as well and is waiting to recover and to know what happened to the baby. In which I replied, as long as she is fine is what matters. Just wish the same could be said to her child. Monday, September 16th, 2024, the next day, my sister returned with her fiance from the hospital and I had a therapy session this morning. My sister's fiance's mom and his sisters were at the house. We were cleaning out the baby room since, my nephew wasn't here. She and I and my mom, we put all the baby stuff in the storage, and then also I realized before my therapy session, which I always had Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, sometimes Monday, that they left for a moment. I was unsure at the moment at why they left, but it must have been to place a burial site for my nephew, but I was not sure, and I still don't know to this day. But anyways, I met up with my therapist and told him what happened yesterday, and he felt really bad for me and asked that if he wanted to cancel session for today, in which I replied to keep the session going. Despite being heartbroken from yesterday, I posted another Instagram story playing another sad song with a post saying, "Shit hurts." My first older brother noticed it and asked how I was feeling. I only replied sad, which my first older brother told me that everything will be okay and that the same thing happened to them at one point, which my parents never told me at the time until I discovered that my brother was expecting twins at one point, but only one of them survived, but had to be placed under surgery because his organs were misplaced when he was given birth. As time went by, I noticed that my family had been in this situation before, with not only my first older brother and my sister, but with one of my grandparents. I'm not sure which side though. It could be my mom or dad, even though I never bothered asking. But yeah. And even my mom herself as well, which is very heartbreaking to hear. 'Cause I could have had possibly an uncle or aunt or an older brother or sister. But I'm getting a bit off topic here, but my brother told me that it's hard to understand why these things happen. And that's his cousin is taking care of him in heaven for all of us. And that they're going to get the justice he deserves, and which I replied, of course. Next day, Tuesday, September 17th, 2024, my sister posted a very long post on her Instagram explaining what happened to her son and getting more details about his death date and time, as well as how much he weighed. Then she did a GoFundMe post spreading awareness to the story and giving him a funeral so him and all of us some peace after these 2 long and hard days. She thanks everyone for this brief moment during her pregnancy journey and telling her son to be safe out there in heaven. And then right after she posted that, she ended up in the hospital, and I'm not sure exactly the day she went back because I forgot about it, but I know my third older brother posted it on his Instagram that she was fighting for 2 weeks. So I'm assuming it was like after the post that she made. But she was able to get out after that, and she had to get surgery to remove her appendix. Next month, in October, I met up with my sister and fiance to see how they were feeling since it's been a month since my nephew passed. And they asked me if I wanted to attend the funeral. I was a bit hesitant since this wasn't the first time I had went to a funeral, but I accepted their offer since I wanted to see my nephew one last time before his burial, which we reached Halloween Day, his burial date. So we arrived at the funeral where almost all of our family members were there, including some of our friends, whether that be coworkers or actual friends. We went inside and I took one good look at my nephew before he was buried. And I felt really bad for him because he was taken from us this early. Then we head to the burial site where a priest gave a prayer in Spanish since most of us attendees were Spanish speakers, and we gave one last goodbye to our son, nephew, friend, family member, whatever you want to say, by giving him flowers on his little casket before he being buried. We all went back home, still recovering from the heartbreak not only my sister and her fiance went through, but my parents, my brothers, even myself. And that's all that happened. I just really wish it never happened, but it is what it is. I don't control the world, and things just go how it goes. We don't know everything about how the world works, so we get to experience how it is. I guess that's the moral of the story. But I want to thank you guys for listening to my story, and to my nephew that's hearing this in heaven or in spirit. Just know that despite you not being here with us, my 2 friends that also lost their lives, not a tad bit early, not around the same age, but like during their teen years, they'll keep an eye on you, as well as some of our lost family members, and heck, even your friends that lost their lives this early as well. But until we meet again, Eli Santiago Valle, I hope you're safe, and we all love you. And I want to thank you guys for listening to this story, and I just hope everything goes well after the 1-year anniversary of his death. And as always, I'll talk to you guys later.